Bubbles. Bubbles, 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 bubbles. Bubbles, 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 bubbles. What is it? More packing material. Haha! There it is. Do not remove this pedal rod from hydraulic. It's not a serviceable part. Here is the original hydroboost unit, and it's got 4 bolts from this plate here. You can see they're press fit in this plate, and they end up underneath the dashboard. It's gonna be inverted, but the 4 bolt that holds the unit to the firewall are there. You can tell there are 4 of them, and they are all in a recessed holes. First, before you remove that, you can take off the brake switch cable from here. It's gonna give you a little bit more room, and there's a pin. You see the pin that goes through right here. There's a clip on this, and it's right here. I'm gonna show you how it works. So all you have to do is you lift this second pot up over the pin, and it's gonna slide out. It's kind of it's a pin with a groove, with an annular groove around. So it just clips on there, and when you remove it, you just have to lift this part here. You see the little tab there, right here. You just have to lift that over and slide it at the same time, and it'll come off. Once you got all 4 bolts loosened, you got enough room to pry that rod out, and the brake switch is gonna fall down. The master cylinder is held on by 2 15mm, but a long box might be too long. So yeah, use a wrench. It'll be good. See? So here's the bolt right here, and just so you have more room to pull the unit out, remove that stud. So you need a 15 on one hand, and you need a 13 on the other one. You see it's reverse thread, so be careful. You can tell in that hole that there's a lot of power steering fluid, because it blew that seal. That's the end seal right here, and you see the channel there goes to a weep hole. So when you start noticing oil coming out of that weep hole underneath the hydroboost unit, you have to replace it, otherwise you're gonna have that issue. So yeah, when I came back home with a 7,000 pound load, yeah, I went through half a pint of power steering fluid in one day. So yeah, I went to pick up some wood for the new shed. I went to pick up a car, and yeah, so now it was time to replace it, and at least I'm updating it. I could have pulled that guy out and redid the seals, but in 2011 they made a change which makes the pedal feel a lot better. So I'm gonna take the opportunity of this one crapping out on me to put in a updated unit, but I'll keep this one as a spare. I'll put the seals in there, and I'll have a spare unit in case something happens and I don't have time to get the other one shipped out, because I waited a week to get the 2011 model. So yeah, I'm gonna remove those holes, those hoses, the last bolt, and then I'll pull it out. There she is. when you go to put in new unit, put a little bit of angle into that that rod here, so you'll be sure you end up on the right side of the brake pedal, or the correct side, I should say. Let's see if we got it to the right side. Yep, we're good. To put the brake switch back on, you gotta juggle with 3 pieces at once. So put the brake switch on the rod and slid both of them together onto the brake pedal. Don't forget to put the clip back on. Everything is torqued back down underneath the dash. Now I'll put my bolts back in and fasten the master cylinder. Okay, I got it bolted back on, and if you want to make sure you got the 2011 model, you can see here the spool valve right in there, and there's nothing here. But if you check on the older unit, you're gonna see something different. This is the older unit. This came off a 2005, and you got a spool valve here, and right here there's another gizmo that screws back in there. And the new unit doesn't have that, so that's one way to tell them apart. Except there's another one. Another way is the casting number is upside down. You see, this is a 05. This is the earlier model, and this is how it is. But on the new unit, they flipped it on the other side, so you can read it from the position it's installed in. And here you can see the casting number on the new unit. You can read it from the engine bay instead of flipping your head upside down. So that's the second way you can tell them apart. I removed the old fuel from the power steering pump reservoir and had a new clean fresh one, and now I'm gonna dump it all out again. So using the low pressure port on there, put a 3/8 hose line there, and then I'm gonna start the truck, move the steering, apply the brake, and spit it out until I deplete the reservoir, and then I'm gonna keep doing that until it all comes out clear. Okay, it's all bled and cleaned up. Now the only thing I should do is bleed all the brake fluid, because yeah, it's pretty crusty, it's pretty bad. I did it this winter. I did the front wheels, which helped, but it turned back black again. So I need to flush it until there's no more of that blackness to it. But yeah, at least the booster is back, and yeah, should work.